Welcome to the DL Boxing Podcast. I am your host, Coach D, along with co-host Bad Chaz and neighborhood hero Ryan Rios, where we talk about the sport you and I love, boxing. Hey guys, welcome back. How you guys doing, man?
Hey, what's up, guys? How you guys doing?
Good, man. How are you?
I'm doing fine, man. Did you guys have a great Thanksgiving?
Oh, man, I had a great one. How about you guys?
Good. It was good, man. I love the turkey, the ham.
Yeah, exactly. It was like a 3-day Thanksgiving for me,
right? The leftovers. Yeah, man. It was great, man. And I had my pecan pie, bro. So, it was a good thing, man. All right, guys. Well, let's get into our episode. Mm-hmm. We do have a very special guest. Let me introduce him. Fighting out of the Zoom corner from Oxnard, California. He is a trainer at the Robert Garcia Boxing Academy. Ladies and gentlemen, Robert Pita Garcia.
Thank you guys. Thank you guys for having me.
Hey, Pita, thank you so much for taking the time out to be on the DL Boxing Podcast. How you doing today, man?
I'm doing good. Just getting home from the gym. Another day just training our fighters, but yeah, happy to be on.
Yeah, thank you so much, man. That sounds great. Well, let's talk a little bit about current events, bro. What are some of the upcoming fights from RGBA that you guys are currently preparing for that you can share with us?
Upcoming fights, we have a show December 17th in Stockton, I believe. We have undefeated Arturo Cardenas. I think I want to say 6 or 7-0. He's fighting another undefeated guy from Bakersfield. I don't know I can't get the name off the top of my head, but I think he's like 10-0. So we have that one December 17th. After that, we have December 31st, New Year's Eve. We'll be in Japan. We have Joshua Franco fighting Kazuto Ioka, the WBO champ. Josh, the WBA champ. So they're unifying titles in Japan. Those are the only two fights that are scheduled right now that we have coming up. It's the end of the year, kind of slows down a little bit, but we should have some announcements soon for our shows, for some shows early next year. Bam will be going back, I believe sometime late February, early March. Jose Ramirez should be going around at the same time and stuff. So, early next year, I'm sure we'll get a few more announcements.
Yeah, awesome. That sounds fantastic, Pete. We'll surely be tuning into those dates, man. Thank you. Thanks for sharing that. Tell us about your upbringing, Pita, and how was it growing up, in a lineage of boxing champions, man?
Me growing up and, in our family, it's, I know because I get asked like a lot about, being like a young trainer. I've been helping out my dad for over 10 years now, but people are always asking me about like the lack of experience and stuff. But when in our family, that's boxing is all we've ever known. That's all we do. We get together and all we do is talk boxing. We'll literally be at the gym with my grandpa all day, and then we leave and we go eat or we go home or whatever, and we're still talking about boxing. I remember when we're young, we used to go to my grandpa's house to watch, Manny Pacquiao fight, Morales, or just big fights like that. So it's all we've ever known. It's all, it's how we grew up and stuff. So to us, boxing and stuff, it's always been around and it's all we do. It's all we talk about. So for us that's it's normal to us, being around boxing, talking boxing. So yeah, that's how it is. Any gathering and stuff, there always has to be some sort of boxing involved. If there's a birthday party, whatever, it's, we're watching boxing or we're talking about there's boxing involved, no matter what we do.
Yeah, we certainly relate to that, right, guys? Yeah. Well, awesome, man. Pita, did you ever consider becoming a boxer? Was that ever in the plans for you?
So I did a few amateur fights when I was little. I was 8 years old and I did 4 amateur fights.
Okay.
My dad really wanted us to learn how to defend ourselves, learn how to fight and stuff. But it wasn't something that I never thought I would fight but he took me to the gym, wanted me to learn, wanted me to do a few amateur fights. After I did my 4th amateur fight, he asked me if I wanted to continue. I had a cousin that was already playing soccer. So I told him I didn't want to box anymore. I wanted to go play soccer. Then I ended up playing football. I ended up playing just, a bunch of other sports and stuff. So the fighting itself, I never thought I would ever fight. I never really thought I would be a trainer either. It wasn't something that I was, us being around boxing so much, I always wanted to do something else. I didn't think I would end up being in boxing, the way I am now. But when I was 16 years old, I was in high school. I was going into my junior year. After football season, I started going to the gym. It's around the time when my dad opened up his first gym. So he used to work out of La Colonia gym, which is a gym that's owned by the city of Oxnard. But he expanded and went and opened up his own gym by himself. So I would go to the gym to go work out, to go lift weights, just to kind of stay in shape in between football season. And from there, I just grabbed the pyramids, started helping out my dad with the kids, with the amateur team and stuff. And I just haven't stopped since. So I was 16, 17 years old when I started. I'm 27 now. So it's been over 10 years, and it just kind of happened. It's not something that I really planned.
Right. That's amazing, man. And congratulations on that, turning into a trainer. I'm sure your dad appreciates the help that you give, right?
Yeah. I'm sure he likes having somebody in the family involved. I think that's one of the reasons that it makes it so special to us that we're able to do it around family. My grandpa's at the gym, almost every day. We train Mikey all those years. He's not fighting anymore, but Mikey, and then obviously my dad. We have the other trainer that we have at the gym, Chepe, who's not related to us, but I've known Chepe since we were a lot younger. He used to go to the gym to go work out also. So I've known him for 10 plus years also. So it's like family too. So all of us, it's just, the fact that we get to work with our own family, every single day and stuff. It's what makes it so special.
Yeah, we agree, man. That's awesome, Pita. I'm going to hand it over to my co-host here, Bad Chaz, to ask you some questions.
Hey, Pita, what's up, man? Hey, I had a question. So you guys have 2 gyms, but you recently just opened up another one. So you have 3 now, or just 2 altogether?
No, we have 2. We have the one here in Riverside. No, well, okay. So the one in Oxnard, the one that my dad had, I don't think it's open anymore, but it was open for a while with other trainers. My dad's, he used to, Marcos Contreras, he used to be an assistant trainer for my dad when we were in Oxnard. He kept the Oxnard gym going, training fighters that we used to train over there. But I think now it's closed. But my dad has another friend, Jody, who's training kids. I don't know if they have a location right now or he's still training, because he has set up like a little thing in his house. And he takes kids to go compete and stuff. And they represent the RGBA. So that's kind of like the RGBA in Oxnard is Jody. Then we have our gym in Riverside, and we just opened up another location in San Antonio. So we had a location before, but now we opened up a new location right there in San Antonio. Just like 2 weeks ago.
Nice. And when it comes to that, like, do you manage a specific one, or like, how do you guys kind of put people in charge of different ones? With all the different fighters you guys have at each stable.
Yeah. So the idea of my dad opening up a gym in San Antonio was because we have most of our fighters that are actually from San Antonio anyways. We have, Joshua Franco, Bam, Hector Tanahara, Robert Biggie Rodriguez. We have Daniel Cortez. I think we have like 8 or 9 fighters from San Antonio. So the idea behind it was we're in Riverside. That's where my dad is. That's where I am. That's where all of us are. That's our main location. That's where, we do all our training, but we needed somewhere for the guys to be training when they go back home. They all live. We have fighters from all over the place, but that group of fighters, they all live in San Antonio, and we would like for them to have somewhere to train when they go back to San Antonio. So my dad has Marcos. I don't know his last name, but he's the one that's in charge of the gym right there in San Antonio. He's a good friend of ours. We've known him for a few years already, and he's the one that's in charge of the RGBA right there in San Antonio.
Oh, nice. So as a fighter, gets a scheduled fight date, and then you guys put him in camp, do you bring him over here to Riverside if they're from San Antonio?
Yeah, that's how it works. So when the guys are back home, they obviously, to stay in shape and make sure they're not at the gym, they have they have somewhere to go, and they go to the gym right there in San Antonio. And whenever they do get a fight, like right now, Bam fought September 17th on the Canelo undercard. So he's been home since. We're in November now. It's been like 2 months. He's still been training. While he's back home, but he doesn't come out to camp until he has an official, fight date. Then he'll, move over here to Riverside. So, once he gets a fight date, then he makes, the move over here to Riverside.
Nice. And then usually how long do you guys run your camps for? Is it like an 8-week or 9-week?
So it depends. Usually I would say 8 to 10 weeks is what most of the guys do for their it also depends on the rounds. Obviously for Bam, he's a world champ, so he does the 8 to 10 week camps. I know for the last one that he did when he fought on the Canelo undercard, because he fought I believe in June, and then he went back right away in September. So he had a shorter training camp for that one. He stayed in San Antonio a little bit longer, and he came out to Riverside only for, I want to say 5 weeks. Okay. But because he fought so often, he fought June and then September right away. So we don't want him in Riverside the whole time either, we don't want to overtrain him either. So he stayed in San Antonio for a little bit. We know, he's a dedicated kid. He trains hard when he's on his own, but yeah, he came to Riverside for a few weeks. So it just, it depends on the situation, but an ideal camp is around 8 weeks.
Okay. Nice. You guys have a lot of dedicated fighters that come out of your guys' stable, and I think part of it is something that you guys are doing right too. But where do you find these amateurs? These amateur fighters. Do you guys go to a lot of the amateur fights too, and kind of keep your eyes open for the right fabric? The right person to come to your guys' gym.
So we have our own amateur team as well. So we train our pros early in the morning. We get one group that starts at 10 in the morning from 10 to 12. And then we get another group that trains from 12 to 2 p.m. And then we get a little break. And then in the afternoons, me, Chepe, and then we have another trainer, Felipe, that train amateurs from 4 till 8 p.m. And so we travel with our amateur team, or, one of us will try to go, sometimes the parents or whatever. And while we're there, we watch, amateurs and stuff. Or Chep is the one that's really connected with the amateurs in Mexico. So right now, like I told you guys, December 17th, we have Arturo Cardenas. He was on the Mexican national team and stuff. Chep is the one that found him. We just saw a few videos and stuff. My dad really liked the way he fought, liked his style. He's from Michoacan, like my dad and my grandpa and stuff. So, we brought him over, and he's I think he's like 8-0 now. So Chepe does that with a lot of the guys that we bring from Mexico. And then I'm a little bit more in tune with USA boxing and, amateurs, and, just hearing people talk about certain amateurs. And I just take a look real quick. It's as easy as just going online and finding the USA boxing rankings, and you just go down the list and look up kids and you get different styles, different whatever. And we just kind of go from there.
Nice, man. Cool. Thanks for answering my questions. I'm going to turn it over to my partner, Ryan.
Hey, what's up, Pita? Hey, I've been a huge fan forever, man. Even when you guys were in Oxnard and La Colonia with Fernando Vargas, to your dad, to even your grandpa, man. I've been following you guys forever. And man, dude, you're just a well-spoken dude. Have you ever even thought about being an analyst later down the road? I mean, what are some of your future plans? I mean, because you have a huge IQ for boxing, and I even always look at it to see what you have to say when fights come up, just to see what your take is on it. Have you ever thought about any future plans or along the lines with future being an analyst or anything?
No, I've never thought about being an analyst. I mean, it can happen. I wouldn't say no to the idea. Like I said, I didn't even think I would end up being a trainer one day, but I've gotten, we do the, we haven't done it in a while, but we do like the podcast with me and my dad, Robert Garcia Unfiltered. And I do see that, I get comments and stuff about people saying stuff like that, but I know it's difficult to do something like that. It's, we're already busy enough as it is with training the fighters. We got fights, almost every weekend, and we're really busy. So maybe later on down the line, I can't rule something like that out. But yeah, it would be cool if later on maybe I give it a shot.
Yeah, I'm looking forward to it. And like you were saying, you have so much fights going on. You guys are just so busy. What happens when there's two fights at the same time? I mean, are you you and your dad have it figured out as far as who's going where? I mean, how does that work?
It just depends on who the fighters are, the magnitude of the fights and stuff. There's it's hopefully in the next few weeks and stuff, they're gonna announce a few fights that we have coming up for some of our guys, and they're actually the same day, and they're pretty big fights. So it's actually something that we've been talking about in the last few days. It just depends. It depends on who the fighters are, who my dad feels like he needs to go with. It happened to us last year. Was actually our last fight with Virgil. Virgil was going to be fighting Igis Kavaliauskas, the Mean Machine, in Dallas, Texas, and Joshua Franco fought Andrew Maloney in Oklahoma. In that case, my dad chose to go with Franco. Franco is a fighter that is signed with, well, at that time he was signed with Golden Boy, and it was a fight that was on a top ranked card. So he was kind of like the B-side to it. Virgil, not saying it wasn't, because it was a very difficult fight. We knew Aegis, we knew how good of a fighter he was.
Yeah.
But my dad just felt that he needed to be with Josh a little bit more because of the fact that he was going to the rival promoter. He was the B side and stuff. So my dad just felt that he needed to be with Josh. So he went with Josh and I went with Virgil. Me and my grandpa, actually, we went with Virgil and helped out in the corner. So it just depends on the fighters and stuff. Obviously, if it's a world title fight, in that case, it was Joshua Franco. Also, he was a world champ. If it's a world champ and then we have another fight, an 8-rounder or something, then he'll send me, Chepe, or somebody else to the 8-rounder, and then he'll go with the world champ. So it just depends.
Yeah, and it's funny that you bring that fight up, because actually me and Bad Chaz went to that fight. We went to go see Virgil fight in Texas, and we kind of ran into you and your grandpa. We ran into a bunch of people, but me and Chaz had even talked about what fight your dad was going to go to, and we honestly agreed that he should probably go to Franco's fight, just for the fact that there was a lot of controversy the first fight too, with the headbutt and the the poke to the eye. So we were happy to see that your dad was in Franco's corner then too, and we knew that also Virgil had his dad in his corner, and Bad Chaz talks to Virgil's dad, here and there too. But we thought you guys made the right choice on that decision also.
Yeah, it was. It's still it's a difficult choice, because it doesn't, even 6-round fights, 8-round fights, all these fights are really, really important. They're all tough fights. None of these fights are easy. But when you weigh everything, and like you said, there was a lot of controversy in that in that second fight with the eye, and there was just so much stuff going into the third fight with Franco and Maloney that my dad just felt like he had to be there. Josh being the Golden Boy fighter, Virgil being a Golden Boy fighter as well, having a show in Dallas, that means that all the staff, all the higher up people from Golden Boy are going to be with Virgil, because that's their next star. That's the the future of the company. He's in a weight class with welterweight, which is one of the big prominent weight classes in boxing. So they expect a lot from Virgil. They're going to send one person maybe to go be with Josh, to go kind of represent Golden Boy and stuff. And so you just have, you have less backup, at the fight. So my dad just felt like he had to be there, for Josh and stuff. And I thought we did a good job. Like you said, Virgil's dad has been with Virgil, obviously training him since he was a kid.
Mm-hmm.
They have Hector Beltran as well, who's a good trainer.
Yeah.
I was in the corner, and then we had a cut man that was with us too. But I thought we still did a good job. Virgil had that little moment, I think, in the second round where he got stunned a little bit. He got hit, but he reacted real well. In the corner, we did a good job, me, Virgil, and Hector. So we still feel like no matter who goes, like we still have a really good team that anybody could handle whatever situation and stuff happens. But yeah, that in that case, that's what happened. And like I said, we've been talking about this the past few days, because we have that coming up early next year again.
Yeah, we totally agree.
Yeah, 100%, Pita. You know what, man? I wanted to get your guys' viewpoint on the Vargas dynasty. Of course, Fernando Vargas, the father, he's very fond of your grandpa, El Jefe Eduardo Garcia. He sees him as a father figure. How proud are you guys of him and how he's developing his young his sons in the boxing world? Yeah,
it's cool to see. I remember, we've known Fernando our whole lives and stuff. And the little things I remember from being around Fernando at his fights and stuff, the big pay-per-view fights he was in, all the way the crowd was, his, friends and stuff being at the fights. And, it's cool to see him now, training his kids, and, they're all on their own journey, trying to accomplish, stuff that his dad accomplished. His dad was a really good fighter, and they're all doing really good. Fernando Jr. Papas. I don't know if the people still call him Papas, but that's what they called him when he was little. I think he's 8-0 now, 8 knockouts, or 7-0, 7 knockouts. Yeah. Emiliano just had a really good knockout on ESPN. He signed with Top Rank, and Amado picked up another win as well. They're all undefeated. They're doing really good. They're really charismatic. You could tell the crowd, the people and stuff. They're really, they attract, an audience. The way their dad was. Fernando was like that. Even most people even though most people might have been against Fernando because he was like that young, cocky kind of had that kind of attitude. His kids seem to carry that as well, but it draws a big crowd. You know, you could tell they get a big reaction every time they fight. We were there when Emiliano fought for on the top rank card. We had a Raymond Murataya on the card, and the way he carries himself, you know, after the knockout, and you know, like I said, the way people react to them is, you know, it's cool to see. You know, they have a very bright future in boxing, and you know. Fernando, like you said, he just today, my grandpa was on the phone with him right there where he was at the gym and stuff. So he calls my grandpa almost every single day, you know, and asking him about, you know, pointers and, you know, things like that. So it's, you know, it's cool to see, you know, it's really nice to see, you know, them all doing good.
Yeah, that's awesome. Well said, Pita. All right, man. Well, we're going to switch it up to some fun questions, Pita. So I'm going to go first here, and I'm going to ask you this. If you could build the perfect fighter, who would you choose for these 5 attributes, okay? The first one, speed. Who would it be?
Speed? The active fighters? Or
it could be past, active or past.
Speed. Damn, that's a tough one. Because right now you could say like Ryan Garcia. I don't know if you guys saw the video, because on Twitter, there was this video that popped up that I don't know if it went like if it went like on Instagram and stuff, viral and stuff, but like this fan or somebody in the crowd recorded when he dropped Javier Fortuna.
Mm-hmm. Yep.
And he threw his left hook, and in the video, you can't even tell he threw the left hook.
Yeah.
Like, it doesn't even look like he threw the punch.
All you see is his feet moving.
And he drops. So you could say someone like Ryan, but I think I'm going to pick, because even like Manny Pacquiao, the way he threw his combinations, like 6-7 punches out of nowhere. So I'm gonna pick Pacquiao just because of the, you know, he's more of a legend. And, you know, Ryan's still on his way up.
Good choice, Peter.
Good answer.
All right, power.
Deontay Wilder. I don't know.
Okay,
that's his guy right there.
I would pick Deontay Wilder. I'm sure I could think of other guys in the past and stuff, but I like Wilder is. I don't know, that guy's crazy, man.
Yeah, he's
backing you up. He's not even setting his feet right, and he hits you, and you're going to sleep.
And he's still putting guys to sleep.
I'm gonna pick Deontay Wilder.
Right on, Pita. All right, next one, number 3, ring IQ.
I'm gonna say Floyd Mayweather. Floyd Mayweather. He was. His defense is, you know, it's unmatched, but he knew where he was at all times. He knew when he was in danger. He could control the ring like nobody else. You know, he got a lot of there was a generation, like I want to say like 5-6 years ago, where you would see a lot of fighters. You saw Adrian Broner do it, and a lot of guys start doing the shoulder roll, and a lot of people, like, that's what they remember for Floyd. But when he was really, really in control of a fight is when he was in the center of the ring and he's moving his feet and he just controls the center of the ring. When he gets on the ropes, that's when he starts doing a shoulder roll and it's hard to hit him. But he was just really smart at controlling the ring and staying in the center, using his jab to the body. And so I'm gonna say Floyd Mayweather.
Wow, well said, Pita. Awesome, man. Number 4, footwork.
Footwork. I mean, the popular one is right now is like Lomachenko, but I'm gonna go with Bam.
Yeah,
I'm gonna go with Bam.
Good choice.
That's a little biased, but I'm going with Bam.
No, we ain't mad at that, man. Yeah, we agree, man. Last one, number 5, the very important one, chin.
Damn, a good chin. Who hasn't? I don't think Triple G has Triple G ever been dropped or stunned or anything.
I don't think so.
I've never seen Triple G get hurt. He's like 40 years old. I'm going with Triple G on that one. I'm sure there's other. I think all the guys I picked are all current fighters except for like Floyd and stuff. But I think I'm gonna go with Triple G.
Awesome. Hey, well, that's one hell of a fighter you just built, man. That's awesome, man.
Yeah.
Thank you, man. Bad Chaz.
All right. You know what? I'm just curious. Where did the nickname come from? Where did Pita come from, and what does it mean?
So when my dad used to fight, his nickname was Grandpa. They called him Grandpa. I don't know the exact reason. I've heard different stories of why they called him that, but either way, that was his nickname. You know, that's he was called that at the gym since he was young. So when I was born, they called me Grampita, so like little grandpa. But one of my cousins, she's only like a year and a half older than me, or she's a year older than me, and when I was born, she couldn't say Grampita. Everybody else would say Grampita, and she would just say Pita, and it just stuck.
Oh, nice.
And that's it. You know, that's yeah,
Okay.
now everybody, there's people that don't even know what my name is. Everybody could just calls me Pita.
Do you have any fighters right now that you really like to watch when they're on TV, man? Like outside of like the coaching?
Yeah. I like watching my favorite fighter right now is Inoue. I would say I just the other day Ellie was asking us this too, and I said one of my favorites too is Chocolatito, but we have Bam and we have Josh in his weight class, so I feel like I can't fuck with Chocolatito right now. So it's Inoue, and I would say heavyweights. There's a lot of good heavyweights, cruiserweights. Damn, I don't know if there's anybody else aside from those two guys that I would consider somebody that I would go out of my way to go watch. I think just those two guys. I like Stephen Fulton a lot too.
Okay.
Stephen Fulton's a really good fighter. I think that's it. I think that's the Terrence Crawford. I'm a big Terrence Crawford guy.
There you go.
Nice, man. All right, cool.
Hey,
What about you,
Pita,
Ryan?
I know you're still a young guy, but you have a lot of memories. You have a lot of experience. What's one thing that you've experienced that if you could relive it, what would it be?
We had it's two. So I have like two moments in well, see, because we've had like you can see behind me. So we had like Bam when he won his world title and Josh when he won his world title. Those are probably my two favorite fights that I've been able to work. There were the two fighters that I've helped since their pro debut to become world champs. So those are like special wins. Josh's was really special, and obviously Bam as well. But two moments that I'm never gonna forget. And I told my dad about it, and he didn't even realize that this stuff happened. The first one is with Abner. With Abner Mares, we had it was his first fight with us, and he was fighting Jesus Cuellar. Jesus Cuellar became a world champ with my dad, and he left and went to go train with Freddie Roach. And then Abner came to the gym, and he fought. And after I think like in the 10th round, Abner dropped him with a straight right hand, and he's winning the whole fight. He drops him like in the 10th round, and then my dad turns around when Cuellar got up, and he tells me and Abner's strength and conditioning coach, and he tells us he's like, I think we could stop him if we like, if I tell Abner to go for it, I think Abner could stop him. Should I tell him? And me and the conditioning coach, we looked at each other and we told him, we're like we're already winning, like let's just box. My dad's like, all right, cool. So Abner gets to the corner, and my dad tells him, he's like, Abner, and he just looks at him. He's like, can you give me 2 more rounds? Because Cuellar was the world champ. Cuellar had the title, and Abner was a big underdog. So he tells him, can you give me 2 rounds like that, Abner? 2 more rounds where you box him and, whatever, don't make mistakes, this and that. And you're a world champ, Abner, if you can do that. And Abner looks at him, he's like, coach, he's like, I'm a world champ, I got you. That little moment when Abner told him, calm down, like, don't worry, like, I got it. And it was cool. And I told my dad afterwards, and he didn't even like really, I can't even remember or nothing. But I was like, I'm just giving water or whatever. And when he said that, I was like, oh shit, that was badass. Like it was cool. And then the other one was Brandon's last fight. So Brandon fought who was it? Zorrita Soto in Tijuana. And going into it, we already knew it was Brandon's last fight because Brandon had a really, really tough weight cut, and it was just, he was fighting, he was already fighting really heavy, but in training and stuff, he wasn't really into it. The weight cut was really bad. When he was making weight, he actually told my dad, he's like, this is the last time I'm doing this. Like I don't want to be doing this anymore or whatever. So my dad told him, Marc, cool. Going into the fight, we know it's your last fight, whatever. So he goes out there, and it's a 10-round fight. The first 9 rounds, they were, obviously they were really good rounds. It was a really, really competitive fight, but Zorrita was winning the fight. So going into the last round, Brandon comes and sits down in the corner, and he puts his head down like he's tired, and he's just like he's like had enough of it. So he just puts his head down, and my dad doesn't even give him instructions or anything. He just, Brandon, pick your head up. And Brandon picks his head up. He takes out his mouth, gives him a little bit of water. He's like, this is our last round together, Brandon. He's like, stand up. And he just gives him a hug, and he told him, go fucking give him hell. I don't remember exactly what he told him, but he's like, this is our last round together, Brandon. Like basically telling him like it's been a great ride. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
And me, I was probably like 10, 11 years old when Brandon went to started going to the gym, and he moved in with us. He lived with us for like the first like 4 years of his career. He was living in the house with us. So we basically grew up with Brandon and stuff. He was like an older brother. So that moment, being there for his last fight in the last round and the last time my dad was able to work the corner with him, those were like moments that were really, really special.
Yeah.
Wow.
One last question. Great stories,
Yeah,
Pita.
gave me chills, man. That was
Yeah.
nice.
You're great at predictions, man. So I'm going to ask you for a prediction right now. If this was a 6-round fight and it was Frank the Cook against Ali Setback, who would win and how?
I'll go with Frank. I'm going with Frank.
Really? And by what? Knockout? What? Unanimous decision? Majority decision? What?
Frank decision. I think Ellie's tough, but I think I got Frank.
right.
That's cool. Awesome, man. Good questions, man. All right, Pita, is there anything else you want to add or say to our viewers?
No, just, thank you guys. Thank you guys for tuning in. Thank you guys for all the support, and, stay tuned. Like I said, we have, some big fight announcements coming up. We got big fights coming up. December 17th, we'll be in, I think it's Stockton or Sacramento. I'm not 100% sure, but, just follow my dad at Garcia Boxing so you guys can get all the news. December 31st, we'll be in Tokyo, Japan. And like I said, we have, big fight announcements coming up as well. So, we hope you guys are, we hope you guys, continue supporting, and, thank you guys for all the support.
Yeah, for sure.
For sure, 100%, man. We'll continue that support. We want to thank you for coming on to the DL Boxing Podcast, man.
Yeah,
and
thank you.
we wish you and the whole Robert Garcia Boxing Academy all the best, man.
Thank you. Thank you guys. Thank you guys for having me.
Thank you so much. Bye-bye. All right, guys. Well, it's time to recap the fights that happened last weekend. Let's start off with the DAZN main event that was live from London. We had the return of the body snatcher, Dillian Whyte. He scored a majority decision over the game, Jermaine Franklin. He came in undefeated. Really good fight, guys. Back and forth action. I think the experience of Dillian Whyte in the 11th and 12th rounds are the rounds that he won, that he needed to win in order to escape with this victory. I don't know. How'd you see that, Batchaz?
Oh, like you said, man, it was just a close fight, but I think that just like there towards the end, Dillian just kind of rose to the occasion.
It seemed like he was actually gunning for the knockout.
Yeah.
Like he wanted it more.
Right.
I don't know if Franklin maybe ran out of gas, or it was the experience factor that he didn't know how to close out.
Right.
Yeah. What do you think, neighborhood hero Ryan Reels?
You know what? To be honest with you, I thought it was a draw. If anything, I would lean towards Franklin, just because I thought he went after it more. It was definitely a slugfest though. But as far as Dillian Whyte, like fighting these bigger names, like went after like Joshua or anybody else, I really don't think that's gonna be very entertaining.
Yeah, well, I think he puts Dillian Whyte now puts his name, in the hat for to rematch Anthony Joshua, as Anthony Joshua is looking for a comeback foe to fight, and I think they were Franklin and Whyte were fighting for that spot, right, to fight Joshua. So we'll see if Joshua picks Dillian Whyte for that rematch. It'll be good as however long it lasts. But yeah, congratulations, Dillian Whyte. He wanted it more, in my opinion, but I agree. It could have been a draw. It could have been a draw.
It was too close to tell for me.
Yeah.
Right. But again, it was a slugfest. We all love those fights.
Yeah.
So I mean, hats off to both fighters.
Yeah, well said. All right, guys, let's turn our attention to the pay-per-view fight on Triller card. What can we say? It started off with the Vargas dynasty, or 2/3 of it.
Yeah.
Where we had Amado Vargas score unanimous decision over Osmar Olmos Hernandez. Neighborhood hero Ryan Rios, how'd you see Amado, man?
You know what, dude? I thought the first round he looked excellent. You know what I mean? And he hurt the guy.
Yeah.
And then coming into the second round, he just got into like this firefight with them. You know what I mean? And that guy was tough, dude. He was durable, dude. And he hung in there and he was throwing shots back.
Putting the pressure, right?
Yeah, kind of caught Amado. You know what I mean? And then started the third round. I noticed that his brother, Fernando Vargas, which was live streaming the event, that's how I actually got to see the event, stepped up and was like, hey, dude, box this guy. Use your footwork, dude. Use that distance. Use that jab.
Advice.
And great advice, dude. And the next 2 rounds, he did exactly that, dude, and just put on a masterclass performance, dude. So hats off to his brother and dude, that was some good advice right there, because he listened, dude. And like you said, when you have that camaraderie amongst brothers, dude, like, come on. If it was just another guy in the crowd saying something like that, he wouldn't have paid no attention to it. But since it was his brother, dude, he buckled down and he got that victory, dude. So I was impressed with both.
Yeah, and I got to see the ladder rounds. It must have been after his brother told him to box, because he did start sticking with his lateral movement and sticking that jab, which was tagging the oncoming Hernandez, which I thought he boxed pretty well. So yeah, hats off to his brother for giving him a great advice. What do you think,
yeah,
Chaz?
man. No, I agree, man. He just had to go back to the basics, Don't start to bang with these guys, Just kind of like remind yourself what you're here for. And I mean, to do it within 4 rounds, I think, they were all able to get the victory. And I mean, I think he performed perfect.
Right. Well said. Also on the card, we had Fernando Vargas Jr. He scored a tremendous second round TKO over Alex Martinez. That Chaz, how'd you see that, man?
Oh man, that was another good fight. He looked good, nice southpaw, and he just kind of showed the right freaking punches, man. He just had the right selection, and then the right corner. How do you see it?
Yeah, I saw Fernando Jr. just stick to his jab, using his height and his reach advantage, and just delivered the combinations very fluidly, man.
Right.
And of course, he caught Martinez with the big right hooks, man, that really turned his lights out, right? How'd you see that, Ryan?
You know what? I agree with both of you guys. Everything was behind that jab, and he didn't waste any punches, dude. Every punch that he threw, dude, was like calculated, man, and precise, dude. And I really like that. And I don't know if he took his own advice as far as just boxing, but I mean, dude, I thought he did exceptional, dude. And this was probably his best fight yet.
Right. Yeah. Yeah. Congratulations, Fernando Vargas.
Congratulations,
Jr.
man.
On a
Congrats,
great victory, man. So both brothers did well. We wish them all the best in the future. All right, guys, let's move on to the other fights that were on this card. We had Bakodir, the big Uzbek Jalolov, score a 4th round technical knockout over Curtis Harper. Of course, Curtis Harper is infamous for losing about just 1 second into the fight. Well, how did he do that, guys? Well, Curtis Harper, as soon as the bell rang, he decided to step out of the ring and just go straight to his locker room, man. It was pretty
Bizarre.
crazy. Yeah, bizarre. So that was Curtis Harper. But, wow, what can we say? The big Uzbek showed his tremendous power.
Yeah.
I mean, man, what do you guys say about that, man?
Man, his left hand's lethal.
Lethal. He improved to 12-0, 12 KOs. The big Uzbek, of course, for those that don't know, he's the one that scored Olympic gold, beating Richard Torres Jr. in the 2020 Olympics. But it actually happened in 2021 as the Olympics were delayed. So he has a bright future. And we also have a nice storyline maybe in a couple years where Torres Jr. could meet up with the big Uzbek Jalolov, in the pros, in the pro rankings, right? Yeah. What a fight that will be, and what a storyline that'll be,
nice.
man. So that's maybe something that we could look forward to in the next couple years.
Yeah,
man, and I can't wait.
He's also with Bivol's camp. Man, there's some studs in that camp, dude. And he's getting a lot of great work, a lot of great looks, a lot of great heads, I mean, sky's the limit for him.
Yeah, 6'7", man, behind that long jab. And then
he didn't fight like a big guy, dude.
Right.
You know
he puts it on you, but he calculates you, and then he lets that left hand go straight down the middle, and it's lights out, man. It's lights out.
He was kind of using his jab kind of as a rangefinder.
Yeah, like a rangefinder, right? Yeah. It was pretty awesome, man. He's another great talent.
Yeah,
you can see, you can see the pedigree. So we look forward to seeing him more, back in action, and see where he goes from this fight.
Yeah.
All right, guys, turning our attention to the main event on that card, we saw Regis Rougarou Prograis score an 11th round TKO over the game Jose Chon Zepeda. Wow, Bad Chaz, what a fight.
My predictions were off, man.
All of ours was.
Yeah. I seen somewhere Pita though. He freaking he nailed it.
Oh, did he?
Right
He picked
Prograis.
Yeah.
He picked Prograis?
Yeah, he's like Prograis,
man.
like without question.
I told you, dude.
And I was like, man, like he's freaking smart kid. But yeah, you know what? Going back to that fight, Jose Zepeda, man, it seemed like he couldn't engage or like be the fighter he wanted to be. A little hesitant, And then Prograis, he just looked good, man. He just kind of did his thing with.
I think it was 2 southpaws, right? In the ring.
Was
2
it?
southpaws,
Okay.
if I'm not mistaken.
Yeah.
So, like you said, I think Zepeda just looked a little confused. Maybe feeling the power and the level that Prograis was on. He was like, oh man, I'm up against it. Maybe I don't know. How'd you see that neighborhood hero right now?
Yeah, man, I was just disappointed again, man.
Right.
Like I usually go with my heart. And,
Right. Yeah, we did.
And you know what? I was rooting for Zepeda. But man, Prograis is just that good, dude. He's a dog, dude. He's tough, man. And I think he might control that division now, dude. He's hungry,
Quite
man.
possibly. He becomes a 2-time world champion at the 140-pound division. He picked up that WBC, that vacant WBC title that I believe Taylor vacated. I mean, where does Zepeda go from here, man?
You know what? I think he still has a shot, man.
Yeah,
you know what I mean? Like
fourth try at the title.
in that fight, I always felt like he had that shot still. You know what I mean? And he did try to have that last go, you know, which he caught Prograis, dude, and hurt him. But I mean, it's just Prograis just landed so many shots that it just didn't. You know, really, he didn't have too much gas left in the tank.
Right, yeah, and once you open up, you give your opponent that opportunity to land, you know, a clean shot.
Right.
Which,
But
Prograis
I still
landed.
think Zepeda, dude, is a top tier level guy, dude.
Oh yeah.
And
Even Prograis post fight, he said that this guy is
dude,
really
just
good,
tough, dude.
tough.
So like,
yeah.
I can honestly see him go against anybody in that division, dude, and still win.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Yeah,
it's
for
anybody's night, and like Tom said, dude, it always sticks in my head is that like styles make fights, dude.
Right.
You know what I mean? And it's always that
Oh,
style.
yeah, no,
dude.
he's a good fighter still. I think he just had a hard time timing Prograis.
Yeah.
And
Yeah.
Prograis is a little awkward, you know what I mean?
He is awkward, yeah.
So I mean, you kind of just give him the benefit of the doubt. You know, I like to see him fight again, you know?
Yeah,
Yeah.
for sure.
But I'm definitely gonna tune in and man, I'm so excited to see what Prograis does next, dude.
Right.
Because man, dude, he looked good, dude.
Yeah.
And Zepeda's just a
Like,
dog, man.
Josh Taylor, right?
Right,
hope so.
you got a rematch with Josh Taylor. You got Jose Ramirez in the division. You got
Teofimo
Teofimo Lopez.
Yeah.
Catterall, who I think
Yeah,
will
yeah.
rematch Taylor, and the winner of that fight. Yeah, so the 140-pound division is looking really nice right now.
Yeah.
Right.
Yeah. Congratulations to Regis Prograis on his world title victory over Jose Zepeda. All right, guys, it's fight week. All right, guys, let's preview the fights that are coming up this weekend. Let's first start with the DAZN card that's going to happen out in Glendale, Arizona. We have Fresno's own Marc Castro taking on Michael Lopez in a 6-rounder. Neighborhood hero Ryan Rios, what are you looking for Marc Castro to do in this
Again,
bout?
just to look impressive, dude. Just to keep building on that resume, dude. Ever since we spoke with him on that podcast in Hanford, dude. Just super bright kid, dude. Super humble, dude. Just nice kid, and just wants to just put on a show for us, dude.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? And I feel like all of his fundamentals are sound, dude. You know, like I just feel like he's gonna go in there and look for the knockout, dude.
Yeah,
Right.
I agree. Bad Chaz.
Oh, you know what? I totally agree, man. But I think that it's just going to be fun to watch him just do his head work and watch him
his head
slip and
movement.
roll.
Yeah, right. That's always
I think
fun.
that he's going to be one of those guys that he's going to show his offense too, like
Yeah.
to show the judges and stuff. And that's something that I always like to watch with Marc.
Yeah. Well said, guys. Yes, we look forward to seeing you, Marc. I'm sure you'll get that W. Also on the card, we have Diego Pacheco taking on Ricardo Adrian Luna over an 8-rounder. Bad Chaz, what are you looking for Diego Pacheco to improve on maybe in this bout?
You know what? He's pretty accurate with his punches, man.
yeah.
I think he's just going to be a little more accurate than he was the last time. Maybe a little more tightened up on his defense, just some of the basics and stuff. But he's improving well, and he's definitely part of the great camp. So I'm looking forward to watching this fight, and I think he's going to get the knockout, man.
Yeah. Neighborhood hero Ryan
You know,
Rios.
huge fan of the Benavides camp, dude.
Right.
Anybody that fights out of that camp, dude, I'm definitely tuning in. They all have great skills, dude. They're all just tough as nails. You know what I mean? I feel like Diego's going to go in there and just look impressive, dude. I think he's going to get the knockout, an early knockout.
Yeah, I agree. All right, guys. Well, it takes us to the main event of that card. We have the trilogy fight between Juan Francisco Estrada versus Roman Chocolatito Gonzalez. Well, some history here. Back in 2012, Chocolatito Gonzalez won a decision over Estrada. Fast forward 10 years later to 2022, Estrada earns a decision victory over Chocolatito Gonzalez, and now we're at fight number 3. I personally thought that Chocolatito won the second fight, but it's going to be exciting to see the third fight and see how this trilogy ends. How it comes out. Neighborhood hero Ryan Rios, what do you look forward
You know what,
to
dude?
in this
I'm
fight?
super excited about this fight, dude. It's going to be nonstop action,
Whoa,
dude.
yeah.
These two dudes are just machines, dude.
Right, they just
They're
throw tons of punches, right?
Just
Yeah.
punches.
Accurate punches.
Exactly,
Right.
dude. Just tough, man. And you know what? It's for a title, dude. It's for legacy, dude. It's for pride. It's for your country. It's for everything's on the line,
bragging
right?
rights, everything. Yeah.
But one thing that sticks out that disappoints me, dude, is the way they promoted this fight, man. Like you don't see very much promotion on this fight,
that's
dude.
true.
Good point,
And
man.
I'm like
Yeah, you're
looking,
right.
I'm like looking up to see how they're doing in their camps, dude. Like the story behind these fights, dude.
nothing.
And there's nothing, man. And as a boxing fan, that's what I love, dude. I like to see that. work they're putting in the gym, dude, just what this fight means to him, because we all know what this fight means, dude.
Right.
But as far as the promotion, man, it's a little disappointing.
It's a little disappointing. Yeah, I agree.
And
Yeah, I
I'm
would agree
just
with
like,
that.
man, I'm just totally looking forward to this fight. Not only this fight, but this card, dude.
Oh, yeah,
it's going to be a
it's-
tremendous card. For
sure.
So I already know it's going to be fireworks. It's going to be a great fight. It's going to be historical. And I just wish there was more buildup to this fight, because I know the importance of this fight, but I don't know if everybody else does. And it kind of disappoints me a little bit.
Yeah, and thanks for bringing that up. This is for the WBA super flyweight title over 12 rounds. Bad Chaz, who are you looking for, or who do you think will win this fight?
So that's hard, man. I don't
So
know. It's going to be
really-
a high-speed chess match.
Yeah.
You know, they both do great things. You got Chocolatito, you know, he's just like calculated aggression. Like, you know, when he comes in, he's smart about it. Like,
Yeah,
you don't even
punch
see it
placements
coming,
is
man.
crazy.
Yeah, it's just... I really can't, man. I can't really pick a side on that one. I
Yeah.
just, you know what? The fans are winning this fight.
Oh, yeah, for
exactly.
sure. For
Great,
sure.
great way to wrap up the end of the year, you know, with some boxing.
Yeah, great fight. I'm gonna go with Chocolatito Gonzalez on this one. I think he should have got the nod last time, and I believe he will still have enough in the tank to get that win over Estrada. Any predictions on your part?
You know what? Again, it's a 50-50 fight to me, dude. And this time I think Estrada's going to leave no doubt.
Nope. Nice.
He's going to go ahead and just take it to him, and he's going to make sure it's impressive and that there's no doubt in question. So I pick Estrada split decision.
Yeah, that very well could happen, man. And that's when two highly contested a fight. You can have those outcomes. Either way that could
It's going to
happen.
be like a Triple G Canelo trilogy
yeah,
type of
for
thing.
sure.
where
But
like,
much more exciting, much more memorable.
but more. Well, there you
A
go.
lot faster.
Yeah, dude.
Yeah.
Faster.
Yeah, more excitement.
Yeah,
for sure.
for sure. Right on, brothers. All right, let's turn our attention to the fight card on ESPN Plus. We'll go straight to the main event, guys. We have the return of the lineal and WBC heavyweight champion Tyson Fury. He takes on Derek Chisora in fight number 3, guys. This is another trilogy, which I'm like, oh, really? I'm be honest, I don't think I've seen the first 2 fights. This was well before, Tyson Fury won the title from Klitschko, if I'm not mistaken. And I didn't want to revisit them because I just, I wanted to have, just see this fight for what they are now. Tyson Fury, the champion, Derek Chisora, seasoned vet, and see how it plays out here. What do you think, Betchaz?
It's a trilogy. I mean, it's a third fight.
Right, who knew?
Yeah, who knew exactly? But I don't know. Going back, I watched some of the highlights. But Tyson Fury won both of those fights.
Yeah.
And they're having a third one. So I think that the Gypsy King's going to take the third one too.
Yeah.
But I mean, other than it's time's passed and they're fighting again, and they've made some adjustments along the way. So we'll kind of see what happens, how it plays out.
Yeah.
But I think the Gypsy King will win.
Neighborhood hero Ryan Rios, what do you expect from this bout?
Yeah, I see a knockout, man.
Yeah.
I see Tyson Fury stopping him in the first 6 rounds. Again, there's not very many heavyweights that you can put in front of him. That.
Yeah, and I think he was the only one available. Maybe that's
so
why.
it's
Right.
just like a
Yeah.
tune-up fight.
Yeah.
To fight who? Usyk.
Right, for undisputed, right?
Yeah,
That's the main fight we want
it's
to see
just him keeping him
next year.
keeping
Yeah.
him busy,
Yeah.
and hopefully, he can, go in, and get that victory unscathed. You know what I mean? To set up something big. You know what I mean?
Yeah,
Because we all love Fury, dude. We've met Fury, dude. Just super cool cat, man. Just love the dude,
Yeah.
man. He was just like one of the guys, man.
Just
who
bigger
was,
than life, man.
just larger than life
Yeah.
character,
Yeah.
dude. Super
Yeah.
cool dude, man.
Awesome, guys. Well, that rounds up the fights for this weekend. Make sure to tune in. All right, guys. Well, that concludes our podcast. Very exciting podcast. We're very happy to have Pita Garcia on. Shout out to you, man. Thank you
Yeah,
for making
thank
the
you,
time.
Pita.
Thank you, Pita.
Yep, absolutely. Any shout outs that you guys want to give?
Yeah, dude, I'll give a shout out. Shout out to Coach Nash out of Hanford Boxing Gym. Always supporting, man. Always giving us good feedback.
Yeah, really cool.
Dangerous Deanda, always, picking my brain on what's next. Dude, loves the podcast.
Thank you.
Yeah, thanks,
My brothers, dude, Strollin Nolan, Shake and Bake Artie Rios, his wife, Rhoda Rios, just all supporting this podcast, dude.
Dope.
All, during the holidays, just on board with everything we're doing. Just love what we're doing and can't wait for the next episode. So
Yeah, thank you guys so much.
Yeah, thank you.
Bad Chaz?
You know what? Just the people that watch our show, support us, you
Yep.
know, comment section. I appreciate all that. That's nice to have. You know?
Right.
So,
It's cool to engage with our
thanks, you
viewers,
guys.
right?
Yeah.
Yeah.
And then I'll give a shout out to my niece. I heard she watches the show. She lives in Wyoming. So shout out to my niece, Maddie. You know, hopefully you watch this episode and you
Maddie.
enjoy it. So, and happy holidays.
Yeah, happy holidays for sure. All right, guys. Thank you so much. Remember to subscribe, like our video, share. It'll help us grow the channel. With that said, I am Coach D, along with Bad Chaz and neighborhood hero Ryan Rios, and we're out.